Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we're doing another installment of Pen of the Week, a video series where I highlight a pen and an ink combination I'm excited about using this week. These aren't reviews as such, more sort of just me showing the pens I'm writing with, pens I love, inks I love, and just hoping to share some of my passion with you guys. So let's do a recap of last week. Last week I used the Italics Chaplin's Tankard with a steel medium nib and Monteverde Brown Sugar. Really like this ink. I actually worked through this pen and ink filling in about 3 days. I had quite a lot of writing to do and it was really quite nice. The pen does sort of was tending to skip a little bit towards the end as the ink was running out, and that's not to be, it's kind of expected, I suppose. But it's a very smooth nib, and writing on sort of paper like this, which is Clairefontaine paper, you do sort of sometimes get a little bit of skipping occasionally. But really nice combination and a really nice ink. I'm looking forward to putting this in something a little bit wetter, perhaps, like my Visconti Homo Sapiens or something like that. This week, we have another sort of brownish, sort of reddish brown ink. It's Diamine's Ancient Copper, and this week it's in a Diplomat Esteem. Now, the Esteem is not one of the more expensive Diplomat pens. It's actually one of the more budget-friendly Diplomat pens. Still not hugely cheap, but there is certainly cheaper Diplomat pens on the market. But I really like this model. You can see a full review of it on my channel. But let's just dive straight in. Okay, so the pen. This has a smooth wet nib. The Diplomat nibs are beautifully smooth. This has got, I think, a number 5 nib on it, as opposed to sort of the standard sort of number 6 we see on a lot of things like the Diplomat Aero and the Excellence A. But this is a really nice nib. I love this matte finish on the pen, this sort of matte black. It doesn't pick up fingerprints and it's nice to touch, and I think it looks really classy. Okay, the other thing is the price of this pen. As I said, it's not a hugely expensive pen. The price will vary depending on where you get it from, and in Australia you can sometimes pick it up between $80 and $100, so as opposed to, say, the $300 mark for the Diplomat Aero. So you are looking at a really quite more affordable Diplomat pen. Not got some of the features of some of those other pens, but a nice sort of sturdy snap, and it posts well, and it's not a big pen, but it's certainly not a small pen. It feels nice in the hand, either posted or unposted. It's sort of quite comfortable. So, nice pen. Now, this ink, I love the colour of this ink. Ancient Copper is a beautiful reddy orange. It's a dark copper sort of colour, almost bronzy. I love it, and I love the shading of this ink. As you can see there in the swab, there is beautiful shades from almost light orangey reds through to really dark, coppery browns. Now, the price and availability of this ink. Now, I get a lot of my Diamine inks in these smaller bottles, the 30ml bottles. They're easy to store. Filling from them is a bit of a pain, but it's going to take me a long time to work through, sort of 30 mils of ink, let alone 80. And yeah, so they're really easy to store and really widely available. So Diamine inks in Australia cost a bit more than you can get them elsewhere. They're about $25 for the 80ml bottle, but you can buy these for sort of around 10 to 12, and if you buy them from the UK or places in Europe or the US, you can get them much cheaper, and particularly if you buy them on bulk. I tend to buy a bunch of them at once, so really available everywhere. Great brand, huge range of colours. Check out Diamine. Most of you will be familiar with Diamine, but I think this is the older bottle. It says that Ancient Copper on the top. But really, yeah, great inks. For the first time, I'm putting a negative in these videos. One thing I need to mention with a ink like this is the crudding. Now, with browns and reds and oranges, you do get a bit of crudding on the nib. So if this dries up a little bit, which it's not at the moment, but you will get crudding of the ink. It will dry up, and you sort of get little crystallized bits of ink forming around the nib and around the feed, which isn't a problem. It's just that there's parts of the properties in the ink, I don't know the science of it, but I think they oxidize with time. So it's just something to be aware of, and this one, Ancient Copper, is notorious for it. So if you've got pens that have a really good air seal on them, it's particularly good in those pens. If you've got a pen that the like a Lamy Safari, say, where the seal isn't as strong, you might want to avoid this ink. So now let's do this writing sample where I write from Dracula by Bram Stoker. Oh, hard start there, good start. It's by Bram Stoker. And this is where we left off. Okay, so there were a few sort of hard starts, which, as you can see, they're getting more and more. This nib might be slightly out of alignment because that's not normal for this pen. I've used this pen a lot over the years, and you do get a fairly sort of decent sort of reliable writing experience. But as you can see, even with that, I might just do a little bit of work tuning it this week. You get a very nice, smooth, wet writing experience. Oh, it's doing it all over the place. How interesting. I'll update you about that on next week's video. Yeah, but that's rather interesting. Anyway, as you can see, I'm going to enjoy writing with this, regardless. It's a nice pen when it's writing, and it's a nice ink. So I'll let you know next week how that all turns out. This was the Diplomat Esteem and Diamine Ancient Copper. I hope you found this video interesting and useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications button if you want to stay up to date with the videos that I produce. Please feel free to get in touch using any of the platforms listed below. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at @the_offstage_me. You can contact me via any of my videos here or drop me an email. It's all listed below. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, let me know. And if there's a way you'd like to support the channel, get in touch and let's see what we can do. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you later.